All right. Welcome into the Questionable Podcast. You got Scotty Questions here with Meko. What's good, man?
What's going on, man?
How you been? How you feeling?
Much better. Much better.
Goodness.
Yeah, man. I do not wish what I had upon anybody. It sucked. So shout out to you and Easy for holding it down while I was completely under everything.
Yeah.
Under the world.
Yeah.
It
it sounded bad. It really did. And yeah, get a good shout out to E again. Thanks for helping out, man. He hopped in last minute. That was cool. You know, we had some fun.
Absolutely.
Obviously, you were missed, but obviously you caught the invitations.
Yeah, I caught some of it. You guys seem to be having a good time. I don't know. Yeah, I'm never going to apologize for loving my wife.
No. Nor should you. It was just like that's where he went with it. You know what I mean? That was just funny. Like that's where he went. Like
no, absolutely. And like I don't know. That's 100% me. All the time.
Hey, you're 100% questionable. True to yourself.
Listen, no, honestly, like the podcast gets like such a dumbed down version of me. So it's like, if anybody ever feels like I'm like over the top, it's like, man, like you really should see me like day to day.
Right. 100%.
Because my wife gets annoyed. Like how many sexual advances I can throw in a second. Like
I respect that and appreciate
yeah.
that. But no, glad to have you back. But thank you everyone for tuning in. Dan Pass, what's happening? But please like, follow, subscribe, wherever listen to podcasts. Also head over to Questionable Tees when you get a chance. Check that out. Also, shout out to Matt Derry. Locked On Lions. Matt Derry sported his Rodrigo tee today. We've been talking to him for a while, and he just got a gift box. So he was very excited when he got it last week. I'm going to do my best Matt Derry impression. He left me a voicemail because I was putting my daughter down. He left me a voicemail, and he calls me, and he's like, hey, Scotty, brother, this is too much. This is just too much. I don't even know where I'm going to wear all of these. But thank you so much. So he was so excited, Scotty, brother. Like, I'm like, man, awesome, man. Dude, this is what we do. He goes, well, who makes these? I go, we do. Like, hand assembled, man. Like, we design the art, we do everything. He goes, no way. So he's a questionable fan. You know, he wore it today. He gave us a shout out. So go check out his podcast, Locked On Lions. Love what Matt Derry does, and you know, he told me some funny stories. You know, when he was with Valenti on the ticket, you know, with T-Foss, he was telling me the Sue story, you know, because I wasn't living in town when that happened.
Yeah.
I was in New York, so I didn't know he had called in and was kind of a jerk. And so it was just, he gave me the behind the scenes on that, which was pretty interesting, you know.
I mean, considering Mike Valenti, like, I don't think it's a surprise at all that anybody would call in and be a jerk to him.
Well, yeah, so, like, I mean, the story goes, like, Sue called in early. He had a 2:30, you know, time slot, and he was supposed to call in at 2:30, but he called in early, so they'd start the show with him, and they didn't want to do that. But they had to, because it was right after he stomped on Aaron Rodgers, right? So that was the whole thing. And this is on YouTube. You can hear it if you want to go back and listen to it. I guess Sue comes in and he doesn't acknowledge or respond. He just says, I'm just looking forward to next week. And they're all like, well, what does your team think? Well, give us something. Like, what are you talking about? Nobody's, you know, you haven't talked to your teammates. No apology, no nothing. So that was, it was pretty, the way he tells it was obviously better than the way I'm telling it. But it was fun to listen to. Guys got stories for days. But anyway, again, shout out to Matt Derry. He's definitely questionable. He's got one of everything. So he's going to rock those for a little bit. Also, I made him a custom 222 Rodwood Drive. So he's
nice.
Yeah, so because he's got, that's what he calls the facility as like his personal joke. So he has a sign behind him on the podcast. We made him a custom. But anyway, again, thank you, Matt. Appreciate you. You know, more stuff coming your way. Also, you know, Pride of Detroit, more stuff you know, coming their way when we get done with these pieces. You know, I just finished that new Lion, so. But anyway, we haven't even talked about that. Like, those are just sketches. I'm not done with the coloring, but yeah, we got a new Lion. It's pretty badass. So, but anyway, having said that, you don't want to hear us, you know, gab away, but let's hop into it, Meko. You've been gone. Let's lead us off. You know, I hope everyone had a happy Easter, but now we're in the thick of it. We got the draft in a couple weeks. Let's go, Meko. Let's go.
Man. No, there's a lot going on. Obviously, if you saw the thumbnail, if you saw the announcement, obviously we are going to be doing a 7-round mock draft. We don't do a lot of these. This is probably going to be the only one we do, unless maybe the Lions do something drastic where like they completely trade up or trade down before draft night. So maybe we might do another one. Who knows? Or if you guys beg us to do another one, we might do another one. But before we jump into the mock draft, there was a little bit of Lions news or Lions related news this past week that I kind of wanted to just pick your brain on and at least get your instant reactions or your opinions on the news that broke.
Yeah.
And let's start first with Teddy Bridgewater. News broke this past week that the Lions made a strong offer to free agent quarterback Teddy Bridgewater, who played last year with the Miami Dolphins, but also has a history with Dan Campbell and AG as he did play in New Orleans, backing up, I believe, Drew Brees at that time.
Yep.
So what are your thoughts on the Lions potentially going after Teddy Bridgewater after already re-signing Nate Sudfeld? Do you think this is like something that they're seriously pursuing? And two-parters to that, if they were to land Teddy Bridgewater, do you think this takes quarterback off the board for them in the draft?
Great questions. First answer, yes, I think it is serious. I do. Just because of the background with Teddy and Dan, right? Knows him, familiar. He held it down when Drew got hurt, or he held it down a couple times. Like Teddy can do that. He can hold it down for a handful of games. He can do that. He's proven he can do that. So, yes, I think it's serious. Yes, I think if we get him, it does potentially, like to me, that would make quarterback a little bit less of a priority, right? If you do get Teddy, because I think at that point you're holding on to Goff than Teddy. Yes, we need to draft a quarterback, but maybe that's why Hendon Hooker is in town this week, right? You take somebody, right. You don't trade up to get a QB. You can get somebody that's injured, and you give him some time to heal, see if that works out. I mean, Hendon Hooker, I watched his tape. I mean, it's a solid tape. It's solid tape.
Yeah.
So if they sign him, they don't do that. But can they wait? Like, can they wait and not have this deal go through until after the draft, right? Let's say they gave an offer, but, like, how is that going to work, right? Like, wouldn't you want to, like, not do that so then people think you're in the market for a QB? Like, I just don't know how that goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was the one thing that was, like, really interesting about this deal going through is that when it did go through, or when this news broke that the Lions were talking to Teddy Bridgewater and that they're making a strong offer, my first thought was, like, so you're kind of like telegraphing that you're maybe not interested in any of the quarterbacks near the top. Like that kind of seems like you're telegraphing that pretty strongly, that you're not interested in any of the quarterbacks near the top,
or that you don't think you're going to get them,
or one or the other. But I think it also makes it a little more interesting when you go back to Brad Holmes' comments during the owners' meetings where he was talking about the Lions had like only like 2 or 3 guys that they were really pursuing as far as like for backup quarterbacks, and Nate Sudfeld being one of them. And then the other 2 guys, like they were just out of their price range, right? They couldn't see themselves paying that type of money. Well, what that kind of tells me, if this news about Teddy Bridgewater is coming up now, is maybe Teddy's price came down. Either Teddy's price came down, or the Lions, again, maybe feeling like they're not going to be able to get any of the top quarterbacks that they would like to. Maybe they decided, you know what, maybe we do need to invest more because we're not going to be able to get the guys we want. So maybe we do go back to Teddy Bridgewater and we make a stronger offer to get him to come in here and back up Jared Goff for a year or 2.
Especially if
I think that's probably the most interesting thing.
Especially if it's a win now mentality, right? Like bringing in somebody from the draft to like be the starter QB. I mean, it takes a couple years. It's not going to happen right away. So even just to be the backup, like he's not going to know. I mean, look at what Malik did. He didn't do anything. Not that he's great,
but I mean, you don't know if you're going to get like a Malik Willis or if you're going to get a Brock Purdy. Like there's, and so would you rather just spend the money and get a more sure thing in a Teddy Bridgewater? Maybe. I get a little nervous when it's like a strong offer. So it's like, okay, well, how much did you offer him? And the fact that like it hasn't become a done deal, it makes me feel like Teddy might be waiting to see, like Teddy might be holding out to see what happens after the draft, which in that case,
so
it goes back to your point.
Yeah.
Maybe that is why the Lions bring in a Hendon Hooker on a top 30 visit, because they're just like in a similar situation with Jamal. Like, hey, we don't have time to just wait around for guys.
Right.
So we're going to do our due diligence and prepare for, a situation where we don't even get a chance to get a Teddy Bridgewater.
I think that all opportunities are on the table right now. And I think that's all that Brad Holmes wants. He wants options, right? And he has options to do whatever he wants now. I mean, if Teddy agrees to it, right, they could change their mind and be like, or not. But, like, I just don't understand. Like, it's not a big deal. It's like, okay, now feels like we're addressing the backup QB thing we've been concerned about for a while. So, great.
No, absolutely.
We're addressing that. Perfect. I feel confident in what's going on. So,
no, absolutely. I think like that's like an also an equal feeling. Like, okay, we were talked about it, I think a couple weeks ago, where it's like, Brad said that they were going to take this serious, and then you only signed Nate Sudfeld, and so now it started to kind of put a lot of things in limbo. But I mean, again, this Teddy Bridgewater news gives you a little more hope, and then also hearing that they are bringing in Hendon Hooker for a top 30 visit. Again, like that sounds like real interest, and maybe that is a contingency plan where it's like, hey, we don't want to wait on Teddy Bridgewater, so let's do all the due diligence we can on a quarterback that we think is just as capable, just as talented, and I mean, I don't know how much younger, but he's younger than a Teddy Bridgewater. So all in all, I think like that's, I think quarterback is going to continue to be something that's really interesting as we kind of get closer to draft night.
Totally. I mean, it's a big deal, right? So, yeah, I mean, again, it's lying season. Everybody's playing games, trickery. The trickery is out there. So I don't, it's just, it's great that we have options, and that, I mean, to me, I'm just happy also as well that we've addressed, a big part of the defense. You know what I mean? It's not like we're going in like, okay, are we picking Gonzalez at 6? What are we doing there? At least the cornerback, like we've addressed a big part of the defense. So I just feel like we're in a great position still, for the draft, like we talked about, to get kind of anybody they want to get. Best player available.
Yeah. So, and speaking of the draft, I think that's a perfect segue into us just getting this mock draft started.
Let's go.
Because
it's going to take a minute.
It's 7 rounds. Obviously, the Lions don't have a pick in every round, so we're obviously they have picks in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, and 6th round. They have no picks currently in the 4th or 7th round. The way that we are going to run this mock draft, because I know mock drafts
y'all
are
calm
highly
down.
Volatile.
Y'all calm down.
Highly volatile, and so the rules that we have in place. First and foremost, we are going to be drafting as if we're the Lions. So this is not Scotty and I making picks simply because off of what we would do, because more than likely this may look differently. We would definitely prioritize certain positions higher than what we kind of know the Lions kind of prioritize things. And we would maybe target players that maybe the Lions wouldn't necessarily target. So we are going to do our best to basically be Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell in this situation and try to, compile a collection of talent that we believe is going to put this team closer to being Super Bowl contenders. We are going to be using Pro Football Network's mock draft because it's free and we're not paying for anybody else's.
And we're doing this for fun. Okay. Finally, this is fun, guys. We're going to have fun with it. We're going to try and have fun. So let's have fun in the chat. Let's not get too crazy, because at the end of the day, we have no idea what's going to happen, right? Worked the draft for the past 6 years. I'm there making the jerseys live. It's insane. Like, nobody knows. Like, as it counts down and I hear the background, okay, 30 seconds to start. Like, everybody's like, we don't even know what names to have out still for the first pick. So whatever we think is going to happen is probably not going to happen. So that's why this is fun. And I think people do forget that. It's supposed to be fun. All right.
Also, as far as trades go, we are allowing ourselves 2 trades, right? We are allowed to make 2 trades. Once those 2 trades have been made, there will be no more trading. So if we decide to trade early,
2 trades, 2 trade max.
Then yeah. All
right.
Also, Scotty and I have to agree on the picks.
Yes, we are.
So we have to come to some sort of consensus in some way. Maybe we may pull the chat in.
Meko is Brad Holmes, and I'm Dan Campbell. I will play the role of Dan Campbell.
This will be great. All right.
Oh, I love this guy. I love this guy.
I don't know if I can if I start jumping around and clapping and hitting things, I think my wife is gonna come in here. So I'm gonna be a milder version of Brad Holmes.
Okay,
in my own house.
Then should I do that? No, we can't. No, it's all good. All right,
we'll both start our wives.
So, all right, you ready?
Yeah, let's start this draft, man.
The 2023 NFL Draft is now open. All right, we're gonna start this.
Let's go.
All right, I'm not gonna play that the whole time because that'll just get annoying. All right, 7 pick. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. All right, so let's draft. All right. CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Jalen Carter.
Oh, no.
Anthony Richardson and Tyree Wilson have gone, and we have 3 trade offers?
Nope. I don't even care what the trades are. Reject them all.
Okay.
This is actually really dope. I've never seen.
Okay.
Shout out to PFN for updating their mock draft simulator to include players.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's actually sort of looking at this first trade offer.
Well, this is one of 3. Let's go through them. At least for the first round, let's take this serious.
Yeah, okay. So let's take this serious as if we are Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell.
Carolina.
So the Panthers are offering Brian Burns, Derrick Brown, and the 39th pick for the number 6 pick. First of all, this is highly unlikely.
Correct. First of all, this is the no for me, dog. But
this would be a yes for me.
Really?
Brian Burns and Derrick Brown, and you still get the 39th pick, and all you're giving up is 6? Okay. You immediately get an upgraded defensive tackle. You get an amazing edge rusher in Brian Burns, and you get another 2nd round pick. So you're missing out on who I would be picking right now, who is Will Anderson, but you get 2 defensive pieces that would just immediately elevate your defense. But I would still say no.
Okay, we're still saying no. Let's see what the next offer is. Okay, that's 1. Next is, oh my gosh.
Ooh, I like this one too.
This is a lot.
This is a whole lot.
I hope everybody.
35th pick.
Can everybody see this? This is as big as it gets, but so if you can't see it, but pick 35, pick 79, DT Buckner, 2024 2nd, 2024 6th for the Colts.
This is so unrealistic.
This is a lot. Yeah, people want to move up. It's going to take a lot, maybe not that much.
Yeah, but I like this. This is another package that I would, if the Lions made this deal, I would not be mad at all. DeForest Buckner is amazing. You immediately fill that defensive tackle need.
Okay.
And then you get picks for the future. So if you need a quarterback, you can always trade up.
Yeah, you have some picks. Okay, all right. Let's see the 3rd now.
All right, this is...
Come on.
Mike Evans?
Yeah, yeah.
It's not as great as I think...
You go to pick 19, though, so you have 18 and 19.
Which isn't bad.
You could theoretically package those to move up.
Yeah.
Right?
Those
18 and 19.
Some nice picks. Yeah. You get a 2nd, 3rd, and you get a Mike Evans, which just, adding more talent to that offense would be...
Wow. Okay, so
these are some interesting trades.
I know. I didn't even think about this. All right, so we're rejecting these, though? Right? We're going to make our pick at 6, correct?
Yeah, we're going to reject these, and I'm basically rejecting them out of the fact that none of these are realistic.
Okay.
These are some lofty trades.
I do think out of these, the first one is, if I had to pick one of these, I think it's the first one. What do
I
you
think
think?
so too. That the Colts package is kind of interesting though. Just because you
It's just a
get so
lot.
many draft picks and you get so much like
Well,
ammunition.
yeah, you know what Brad Holmes can do with draft picks, right? So that's what I see out of this is the value that Holmes can turn that into. So but for immediate, like 2 players, like
oh yeah, no,
you're getting 2 players.
Like,
okay, so now you've talked me into it. I'm thinking you get 2 players.
Mm-hmm.
You drop to 30. You know, you get out, but you have your 18 pick. So
you still have 18, yeah.
Oh man, that's interesting. So if these are the phone calls he's already like talking about, like Holmes has got to be losing his mind. Let's just say, hypothetically, if he is, like, what would there's like too many opportunities.
I think he would take the Carolina deal. In all honesty, because essentially, what are you giving up? You're giving up on Will Anderson, but you're getting Brian Burns and you're getting Derek Brown. Like that's a steal. I don't think there's a single Lions fan that would be upset about that.
All right. Okay, so we're rejecting these, though, correct?
Yeah, simply off of principle that these are not realistic.
Okay.
I cannot, in good conscience, take any of these trades serious.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, we can go ahead.
What I'm going to do, they can barely see. I want to see if I can make this larger for a second, or do we want to just keep moving?
No, see if you can make it larger. By all means, we want to make sure that people can enjoy the experience.
Okay. Give me 1 second here. Let's see if we can help everyone out. Who cares about us?
Yeah, it's more important that you guys can see the picks and the potential trade offerings, and then
all right.
Yeah.
That's got to be better. Okay, I hope that's better, y'all.
If not, we'll still read off the trades.
Yeah, I think that's better. I can see it a little bit better now myself. But all right, we're still going to read everything off, but hopefully that helps. All right, rejecting. Correct, Meko.
JC Spad, I agree. We also don't know what these contracts look like, so like
good call.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, again, that's another part that just makes this unrealistic because potentially like none of these contracts we could probably even afford. I feel like DeForest Buckner is the first one that like kind of comes to mind that contract's pretty weighted. Derek Brown is in the same draft class as like Jeff Okudah, so like you could potentially I feel like his contract's probably affordable. I don't know about Brian Burns though.
All right, I'm rejecting though. Reject.
Yeah.
Reject. Okay, and we're here at 6. I don't think we're on the clock, but
this is a layup, though. Like, this is a dream.
The Detroit Lions are now on the clock. Oh, man.
This is a dream scenario. If you're
Will Anderson, right?
And it's, yeah, like you sprint this pick
like
to the podium.
Okay, so that's just what we're doing. Okay, then Broderick Jones goes. Paris Johnson, Jackson Smith, Skoronski, Witherspoon, Gonzalez, Miles Murphy, Lucas Van Ness, Will Levis, Bijan Robinson, then Jordan Addison went.
Okay, so at least we don't have to worry about like debating whether we take Bijan at 18.
Correct, he's gone.
That was my fear. That we're gonna have to decide whether or not we take Bijan.
Wow, but hold on. Hold your horses at 18. Hold your horses.
Another trade offer
from the Raiders. Pick 38 and Josh Jacobs.
I'm gonna say no. I like Josh Jacobs, but I'll pass. You have Monty, you have Swift. I don't think you need a Josh Jacobs.
That's true, but we have another 3 offers. This is crazy to me. Okay, that's 1. Okay, the Giants want to give you pick 25 and pick 57 for 18.
Okay, let's table that one.
Okay, tabled. Okay.
And then this is a no. Yeah, this is just a no.
No,
I'm not
the Bills want pick
well.
27, and they're giving us pick 27.59, but they want 18 and 194. So no to that.
Yeah.
All right, so we're saying no to all these. We're not in the trade market. We're feeling good.
I mean, we're definitely saying no to the Raiders and the Bills. The Giants,
Raiders. Okay. Bills are at the Giants, 25 and 57.
All right, can you like click off and see
I
what
can
the
counter?
board looks like?
Click
Well, I
off
just wanted
it.
to see like who's on the board because maybe it may make sense for us to trade down in this situation.
Okay. Let's see.
Okay, so yeah.
All right.
All right, so this is who we have available to the Lions at 18. At the top, we got Brian Brzee, defensive tackle out of Clemson. You have Brian Branch, safety out of Alabama. Joey Porter Jr., cornerback out of Penn State. Cam Smith, cornerback out of South Carolina. Keely Ringo, cornerback out of Georgia. I'm skipping over Isaiah Foskey because I don't think we just took an edge, so we're not going to take another one. Quentin Johnston, wide receiver out of TCU. Deontay Banks, cornerback out of Maryland. Okay, for you, like, if the Lions go defensive edge with, let's say, again, in this scenario, they got Will Anderson. In your mind, what is the next biggest need, do you think, for the Lions that they should be trying to address with pick 18?
Wide receiver, quarterback.
Ooh.
That's where I go. And I've got quarterbacks up, Hendon Hooker. This is where I feel like I think this is early for Hooker, obviously.
It's very early for Hooker. For me, it's early, yes.
It is. But, I mean, and looking at out of these guys, so let's see, running backs. Zach Charbonnet.
I'm more of a Gibbs guy because I just think Gibbs would be perfect DeAndre Swift.
He would.
Replacement if they wanted to go that route.
I'm just looking through these. Okay, now wide receiver, Quentin Johnson.
Jalen Hyatt and Zay Flowers are like the top guys that are all considered first-round talent.
Okay. Tight ends, no.
I doubt it. I would be so shocked if they went tight end.
Offensive tackle.
So, all right, so this is where like I go. So you said like wide receiver, quarterback.
I did, but I'm
offensive line.
I like shiny things, right? I was a striker when we played soccer, so I'm that guy. But I think that he loves his tackles, right? I mean, he loves his. What was New York's offer again?
It was pick 25.
Here, 25 and 57.
So you're trading back 7 spots in the first round and then picking up an additional second. Well, I'm kind of leaning towards taking that trade.
Let's keep looking. Hold on. Let's keep looking, though. We're not done looking. Hold on. Let's just look. The guards. Cyrus Torrance.
Ooh, Torrance is a good one.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Let's keep looking. We're shopping right now. Again, the other rounds will probably take as long as this guy's, but this is an important pick.
Yeah, 18.
Thankfully, we don't have 10 minutes. Well, we should have timed ourselves, but we'll keep an eye. But they only get 10 minutes.
We can't take forever. We can't
right.
Take
no,
forever.
we won't, and we won't. We're just going through it. We're going through it. We're already in the guards. Okay. Cyrus first.
I don't think we're going to take a center, obviously, for obvious reasons.
Okay, let's look at the defense. Okay, you got Brian Brzee. I like Cansey.
Same.
A lot. No, I don't want Mozzie Smith. Get out of here. Okay, edge. Isaiah Foskey.
I doubt they take another one after. If you get Will Anderson, like
right, you're not going to do it. Okay, linebacker.
Not that early.
Linebacker.
Brad Holmes doesn't like linebackers.
Well, clearly.
So he's not taking one in the first.
Joey Porter Jr.
Corner is interesting. Joey Porter Jr. is an interesting one. As is Deontay Banks. Those would be the 2 corners that I would be looking at 18. Deontay Banks, I think, has a little more versatility than Joey Porter Jr., but Joey Porter Jr. is like true, like outside guy that could potentially replace Jeff Okudah if you decide to go elsewhere.
Right. Okay.
So,
all right, and then safety.
And then I love Brian Branch. Brian Branch to me is like the security blanket if like CJ balls out and you know that you're going to lose him, but you want like a piece that you can just like plug and play in his spot.
And that can learn from these guys. You have these guys for this year, for, you know what I mean? Like you had, like, what better teaching group that you have for at least this year. If you're going to bring
Yeah.
somebody in, ooh, that's tough though. Really?
All right. So can I give you my top 3
All right.
at
Yeah.
18?
Yeah. Because I'm
my
doing
top
so
three-
much managing this right now. It's a lot for me. I'm
So my top
ADD, so this
three-
is my mind's going insane. So I'm going to let Meko take us on this journey, and I'm going to, if I really disagree. But go ahead.
So at number 1,
Yeah.
this may shock you.
You don't want to go
but I
special
think-
teams? You want to hold on, kicker?
Absolutely
I'm
not.
kidding. I'm kidding. All right.
But no, my first choice actually is Darnell Wright, the tackle out of Tennessee. I just think, first of all, you get like he can play right tackle, but he can also play guard. And I don't know if you're gonna find as good like value that's that good later than where you are right now, as far as the first round. Like Steve Avila is a guard.
Oh, he played
that-
he played at Tennessee with Hooker.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, again, went against some really good talent in Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Clemson. Like you can kind of see it all there. So like he played against some top tier defensive linemen.
He had scholarship
and held his
offers
own
from
and played really well.
He had scholarship offers from Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, and Clemson too. Chose to play at Tennessee.
Okay, so yeah. But like so he definitely played against Alabama and Georgia. Sorry, not so much probably against Ohio State and Clemson, but he definitely played against those other two schools. And again, did really well in those matchups with guys like Will Anderson and things of that nature. So Darnell Wright is my first choice. My second choice is Osiris Torrance, the guard out of Florida. Again, I just think Osiris Torrance is a beast. I believe I read somewhere that like in his college career, he never gave up a sack, which is just insane to think. Again, playing in the SEC, playing against such amazing defensive talent, that he would not give up a sack is just incredible. And then number 3,
his quote. Hold on that. Hold on before you do that. The final quote in this is, "He's a mauler who regularly imposes his will on defenders." That sounds like a Lions. That sounds like a Dan Campbell guy. Like,
oh yeah, it sounds.
He's
like,
a beast.
And that's what I think.
3'6", 330.
And that's my thing with both.
He has elite size.
Right.
Yeah, but this. Yeah. Okay. All right, and
then for 3, my 3 is Brian Branch, and I kind of talked about it when we were looking at safety. I just think Brian Branch is like an amazing chess piece for a secondary. Like you said, he can learn a lot from guys like CJ GJ, Cam Sutton, Emmanuel Mosley, Tracy Walker. And again, he doesn't have to play safety. He can play nickel. He can play, if you feel really good about his ability to play outside, maybe you can kind of test him outside. I just like Brian Branch, though. I really do.
Okay.
When I look at his tape, he's
yeah. And who is your first
really
pick again?
Darnell Wright.
I think I do. I think that's. I also think if you're Holmes, hey man, I think that's where you live.
Becomes the question.
That's where you live. We're pretending to be them. I'm with Holmes. I'm with you. Let's sure it up. Let's go. We got our boys.
But hold on. But we got a trade on the line where we could drop 7 spots and pick up an additional second round pick and maybe still get one of these guys. I think you still may have a chance of getting Darnell Wright.
That's a risk. Torrance. That's a risk, bro. That's a risk. I don't know if he's going to be there. Do we take our shot? Well, we got it, man. Best player up. This is our. I don't know if he's going to be there.
So Darnell Wright at 18.
Darnell Wright. Oh, I think. Okay, so here's the question. Oh. So who was the other one again? I'm sorry.
Osiris Torrance. Guard or tackle?
Sorry, I hit the wrong button. I best player available. If that's what they're talking about, it's right. If we're listening to what they're saying, right? We're taking the best player on the board for what we're looking for. I think it's right.
Yeah.
I think that's our guy. Agreed?
I'm with it. So let's take Darnell Wright at 18. So not going to take the Giants trade. We're going to just take our guy at 18.
Brian Breesy goes after Julian Hyatt, Brian Branch, Cam Smith, Kaylee Ringo, Trenton Simpson, Deontay Banks, Isaiah Foskey, Quentin Johnson, Nolan Smith, BJ Ojulari, Anton Harrison, Darnell Washington, Luke Musgrave, Clark Phillips, Joey Porter Jr., DeJuan Jones, Mozzie Smith, Kalijah Cansey, Cedric Tillman, Jamar Gibbs. Hold on.
Oh, Noah Sewell.
John Michael Schmitz, Josh Downs, Blake Freeland, Will McDonald, J.L. Skinner, Noah Sewell, and then Keon White.
Real quick, before we jump back into the mock draft, shout out to the YouTube and Twitch audience.
Yep. Shout out, fam. Thanks for hanging with us.
Tactical.
I know.
It's all good. You didn't miss much.
No, you missed a ton.
I mean, you missed us picking Will Anderson at 6. So
right.
That's who we got with our first pick. Let's recap the first round. At 6, we got Will Anderson. We got lucky in that the Seahawks lost their mind and decided to take Tyree Wilson.
Right.
Instead of Will Anderson, so we got a gift. And then as you guys just saw, we just took Darnell Wright. So we added some pieces to the trenches, got a top tier pass rusher and a versatile offensive lineman that, I mean, again, whenever the day comes that Taylor Decker hangs it up, right? I mean, you have Panay can slide over to left, and you have a guy that can immediately fill in at right tackle in Darnell Wright.
Plus injuries too, man. We got to protect like Goff. If we're riding with Goff, man, you gotta protect him. Especially if we're not doing a QB, if we're not going that route, like you have to ensure this line. So also with that, we had a lot of trade offers. We had 3 trade offers for the 6th pick that were nuts, and then we hit 3 for 18, which in looking back, Meko wishes we would have taken, but that's again hindsight's 2020.
Sure.
Now what I heard and what thought was really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I was talking to Derry. I'm going to give Derry another shout out. They did the Locked On mock draft, and he was the Lions, and so they just did the first round. But he at the end of it, he talked to his buddy, and he traded the 2 second-round picks to move up to the end of the first for one more pick at the end of the first is where he slid.
Do you know who that pick was?
Like who? Like what? No, it's on. I didn't get to watch it yet. But he's
okay.
So he traded. It was at the very end. Who? What's the? Can I look? Hold on. Let me look. It was with the Saints. It was a trade with the Saints, trading up with the Saints to 29. Okay.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out because I mean there are people that are saying that like maybe the Lions again
scoot up
they really
there.
Like, go back up into the first and get a player that they can get so they can have that 5th year option. It would all depend on the player.
And it depends on who you're taking at what you get at 6 and 18, right? Like that's the other thing too.
Right. Real quick, just some of the comments in our YouTube chat. JC Spad said, my thought is to move back, but maybe still get a cornerback, Wright or Mozzie Smith. So this is when we were picking at 18. Steve-O says, I love drafting Darnell Wright at 18. He would solidify the Lions as the best and deepest O-line in the league. And I agree. Like again, it's one of the reasons that you kind of make, again, I think it's not sexy, right? I think there are sexier picks that could happen. I think people will be looking at corner. People will be looking probably even at Cansey, right? Looking at defensive tackle if they're not able to get Jalen Carter. But there is some long-term depth that you need at offensive line. And I think if you can get players of the caliber of a Darnell Wright that early, like I said, I don't think you're going to find that same type of versatility, that same type of high ceiling as you are with Darnell Wright that early. Then I think you got to take that now. And I mean, the rest of this draft, you're still able to go best player available. So I don't know. I'm happy with our first 2 picks.
I am too. Now shout out to our Twitch listeners. And Dan Pask said, I could see a double trade with the 2 Eagles picks. 6 for 10, 48 or 55 for 31. Interesting.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the thing that's really interesting to see how much Brad Holmes is willing to move back, because I think so far we've seen him move up quite a bit in the draft to get guys that he wants. Not a whole lot of like moving back to compile picks, to stockpile picks and things of that nature. He tends to pick the guys that he wants at the positions that he wants. So, or again, get aggressive and go after guys. So, let's get back into this mock draft, though, guys. Appreciate all the feedback.
Yeah, thanks for the comments. Keep them coming. Comments. We're going to read them out.
So, all right. So here we are, 48. We got a trade offer here. I'm already going to say no to this.
The Patriots want pick 107, 2024 second, 2024 third, and Ramondre Stevenson.
Or pick 48 and pick 152. Yeah, that's a no for me.
That's a no for me, dog. So,
no.
Rejected. Okay.
All
right. So, let's see. I'm going to go all on the board right now. So, offense and defense, I'm putting all.
Okay. So, the Lions have addressed a piece on defense. They've addressed a piece on offense.
Mm-hmm. In the trenches.
Looking at the top of at least PFN's draft board, they have Michael Mayer, the tight end out of Notre Dame, Zay Flowers, the wide receiver out of Boston College, Adebawore, the edge out of Northwestern, Drew Sanders, the linebacker out of Arkansas.
Torrance is still available.
Oh.
I mean, I don't hate it right here. I'm not going to lie.
I kind of would. I would kind of hate
it.
You
would?
I'd be like, what are they? Yeah,
what are you doing?
That's a lot of O-line depth. That's a lot of O-line depth early in the draft.
That's fair. How do you feel about Zay Flowers?
I think he's a little small.
Okay. He could be Amon-Ra backup.
Yeah, but like, if he can't play, like, I think the Lions would prefer somebody that could work outside and occasionally work. Like, obviously, you want them to be versatile, be able to work inside and outside. And I think Zay Flowers has great route running ability. But simply looking at somebody to just play like backup to Amon-Ra I think is a waste at your first, second round pick.
That's fair. Okay, we don't need a tight end. Charbonnet, running back. Little Michigan, little U of M love. Give Hutchinson a couple buddies. He go play with his friends.
Charbonnet is an interesting one. I was gonna say Charbonnet is an interesting one. This is where there's a difference in opinion between like the fan base and Brad Holmes, where I think like the fan base would see Drew Sanders and Jack Campbell as linebackers available, and they would immediately be like, "Oh, take one of those guys." And I have a hard time believing that Brad Holmes values those positions, and you just re-upped Alex Anzalone. Obviously, you just drafted Rodrigo last year, and you drafted Derek Barnes the year before. So in his eyes, I could see how they're like, "Nah, we're good at linebacker, at least early." I would disagree because I think Derek Barnes is going into his third year, and he hasn't really impressed me that much in 3 years.
Okay, so I just pulled up the defense. Sorry, you're talking linebacker.
Yeah, so that's where I kind of look at like a guy like Drew Sanders, who they are actually bringing in for a top 30 visit as well. And it's like, could Drew Sanders do what they are asking Derek Barnes to do, but better? And I have a hard time saying he couldn't.
I'm reading a little bit about him. I pulled it up. You guys probably can't read this. We will fix this for next season, but this season, sorry, you guys.
Yeah. So, I mean, long story short on Drew Sanders, used to play at Alabama. He was primarily an edge rusher.
Yeah.
Played in a reserve role transferred over to Arkansas. They switched him to play more middle linebacker. And I mean, again, he probably not like the greatest middle linebacker. I mean, but he was really good. And again, first year playing the position, he racked up a lot of sacks. I think he had like 9.5 or 9 sacks as a middle linebacker. So like, he has the ability to rush the passer. He has great length. I think he's like 6'4". So bigger linebacker than what they currently have as well. I think he would be the biggest linebacker they actually have. So, and he's kind of in that similar mold that Derek Barnes was, where Derek Barnes didn't play middle linebacker for long, but he was really like quote unquote productive as an edge rusher. And, they thought like, well, hey, we can get him into our system and we can kind of help coach him along to become a better middle linebacker. And I just don't know if that's been trending well going into his third year. Like, so far, Derek Barnes looks like a great special teams guy, a great depth guy, a guy that you can come in, in the event that somebody else goes down, and he can give you a couple good snaps, but he just hasn't really elevated himself to the point where you feel like put it this way, if he had elevated himself to a point where you felt like he was capable of manning the middle linebacker spot, I don't think you re-sign Alex Anzalone.
Right.
And so on one hand, it's kind of hard to say like, well, you don't need a linebacker. But on the flip side of that, Brad Holmes has never drafted a linebacker higher than, I believe, the 4th round, which is where they got Derek Barnes. And they haven't paid a real premium price for linebackers.
Yeah, and I don't see that changing here. So what about back to the D tackle pool? Like
looking at the defensive
like
tackle pool, Keanu Benton
like a
stands out.
Yeah.
Siaki Ika is, I feel like he's just a less athletic version of Elaine McNeil.
335. How big is Ben? 6'3", 309. Okay. All right. I don't know. I mean,
can you look at running backs? Did Gibbs go?
Hooker's available too.
Gibbs did get drafted. Yeah.
Yeah, Gibbs went.
Giants.
Tank Bigsby, just based on the name. This is like picking my bracket for the March Madness. Like, I'm just picking based on names this year.
Hendon Hooker is still available, isn't he?
Yep. Yeah, but we might. So you think he'll last till 55? That's my question, because I would probably, if he lasts till 55, I would maybe grab him there, but I don't know if he's going to last.
I was gonna say, could Tampa? You got Tampa,
you got
Seattle.
Steelers, Tampa, Seattle, Chicago. Well, Chicago they don't do it, but
yeah, I think Tampa and Seattle are real threats to take him.
Yeah, so this is where. So now this depends, right? Have we signed? Okay, have we signed Teddy Bridgewater? This is my question then, Meko. Have we signed Teddy Bridgewater?
Today we have not. So no.
So I would go Hooker here. If we had a great visit, if the athletics, if the knee looks good, I would push a little bit for. And again, I'm just the coach. We need a backup. We need a guy to back up Goff. We're not. He's injured. No pressure. Holmesy.
Yeah.
Like Holmes. I don't what is his name. I'm sure he's got nicknames for him.
Like, okay, so you feel like you can develop this guy.
I feel if we had great meetings with him, if he's on our board, if he's got the if he's got the IQ, he's got the skills, he's got the he's got the build, but like as long as he checks the boxes, right? Let's say hypothetically he's checking the boxes, his injury looks good, surgery looks good, we had him in. Yeah. Okay, if that's all that, and we have not signed Teddy Bridgewater, I go here, but you're the big boss. So you're the big boss. You're the big boss, Holmesy.
Let's go for it, because I'm concerned as the GM. I'm concerned about the likes of Tampa and Seattle taking Hendon Hooker. So let's get him. Let's get him at 48.
All right. I don't know that people are gonna love this, but we're doing it because it's our mock draft. Okay. I think. Okay. All right. We're doing it. Okay, Hooker, Adebawore, Zay Flowers, Jalen Duncan, Emmanuel Forbes, Sidney Brown, Felix. Okay. Another 2 trade offers on the board.
Get the Packers out of here. We're not trading with you. No, we're not helping you. Get out of here.
We'll read it off, though. They pick 78, and Green Bay is second for 55 and 152. No. Washington.
Hell no.
No. Denied. Okay. All right. Now, at this point, let's see. All
right.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Osiris Torrance still available.
I'm not sure how you feel.
Yeah.
But I feel like at this point we gotta look cornerback or wide receiver is kind of what I'm feeling here.
Okay. All right. Let's look. Let's look at wide receivers. Rashee Rice, Marvin Mims Jr., Kayshon Boutte. Apologies if I said that incorrectly, but
Kayshon Boutte is not even on the board.
Boutte.
He's not even on my board. No.
Trey Palmer, A.T. Perry, Tyler Scott. Okay. All right. So those are they.
Mm-hmm.
And then you wanted cornerbacks?
Yeah, let's look at corners.
DJ Turner.
Ooh, Julius Brents. DJ Turner is a good one too. DJ Turner, Julius Brents. Harry Stevenson actually is another good one. Out of Miami.
Benvenido a Miami.
What's the measurables on DJ Turner, height wise? Because I feel like he's like 5'9".
TBD.
Oh no, no,
Oh, no.
I gotta Google that. Because I feel like DJ Turner's 5'9".
Yikes, spikes. All right, okay, wait, offense. Okay, while you're looking,
he's 6 feet tall.
Okay.
Or at least according to Google, he's 6 feet tall. I don't know what he measured in at the combine at.
I'm gonna give the top 3, those that can't see while you're looking at that. Right now for offense, QB Tanner McKee, Jaron Hall, Clayton Tune. Running backs, top 3, Zach Charbonnet, Devin Ashane, Tank Bigsby. Rashee Rice, Marvin Mims, Kayshon Boutte for wide receivers. Tight ends, Michael Mayer, Tucker Kraft, Sam Laporta.
Michael Mayer falling this far is ridiculous.
I mean, would you take? We don't need him. Would you take him?
I would not over a corner.
No, right. Okay. Offensive tackle Cody Mauch, Warren McClendon, Matthew Bergeron. Guard Osiris Torrance, Steve Avila, Emil Ikior Jr.
Osiris Torrance falling that far is ridiculous too.
Joe Tittman, Luke Whippler, and Ricky Stromberg. Okay, defensive tackle. Jervon Dexter, Siaki Ika, Keanu Benton is still available.
Oh yeah, Keanu Benton's a good one too. This is where things get tough because when you prioritize other positions like
Derek Hall, Andrew Carter, yeah, Drew Sanders, Jack Campbell, Owen Pape, linebacker, cornerback, DJ Turner, Tyreek Stevenson, Julius Brents, safety, Antonio Johnson, Jordan Battle, Brandon Joseph. Special teams. Just kidding. All right, so what do you want to do?
All right. I forgot Keanu Benton was available, and I keep forgetting that we have not addressed defensive tackle.
Yeah, I like Benton, to be honest. I do. But
do we think that there will still be like good cornerback depth?
Osiris
in the 3rd round.
Well, wide receivers.
I think there'll be plenty of wide receivers. I think we can get wide receivers.
All right. So what are you asking?
So yeah, my question becomes corner. Like, can we still get a solid corner in the 3rd round? Because I think that would be if we go defensive tackle now, I think we have to go corner in round 3.
Well, do you think Benton will last?
No, I don't. And yeah, we do need D tackle. Man.
All right. So what's the biggest need right now? D tackle? Right now, like
Yeah,
what?
I think I would
What
put D
don't
tackle
we
over
have?
corner. I would put D tackle over corner
right?
right
Because
now.
we addressed that. I know we need young guys too, but
yeah, let's go. All right, let's go Benson. Let's go Benton.
okay, we did it. DJ Turner, Cody Bach, Andre Carter, Michael Mayer, Osiris Torrance.
Bengals getting Osiris Torrance that late in
This
the
is not gonna.
second.
This is not happening. I just don't think.
Ooh, the Rams getting Avila. That's a good pickup. Mims Jr. to the Falcons.
All right, we're now at pick 81. 2 trade offers. Going from 81 to 99.
So giving up our third and our fifth for 2/4. I'm assuming what that is.
Yeah.
All right. And what's the other offer? Giving up
81 for pick 193 and offensive tackle Leno Jr.
Yeah, I would reject that trade. Can you just like verify for me that 99 is in the 4th round? I just want to make sure. No,
it's in the 3rd. 99 and 101 are the end of the 3rd.
Okay, let's go back to the
San Francisco
49ers.
99. So we go from 81. So we get 99 and 101. So we get 2/3.
I almost want to counter and see if we take away the 5th, if they would do that trade. So just coming up to 81 and all we're asking for is 2/3. So give us your other third.
Propose that trade. 81. Yeah, same thing. Declined.
All right. Go back into the trade offer.
Yeah.
Counter.
$183.
Yeah.
Accepted.
Let's go. All right. Because this is my thought. I want a 4th round pick. I don't want to go that long without getting like another pick. And so I feel like this is a solid like trade-off where you get 2/3 that are close enough to the 4th. And you're just giving up one of those late picks, which I no longer need because we took Hendon Hooker, which is what I would have used a late round pick on, would have been a quarterback.
All right. Now we're at 99 with 2 picks here in the remainder of the 3rd.
All right. I want to go corner here.
Okay. Travius Hodges Tomlinson. Remember the East-West Bowl, Key and Peele? It still never gets old.
Yeah. With the ridiculous names.
Like Maxon Jackson Swaxon the third. Like,
dude, that's really what this sounds like.
Shark Tank. Hingle McCringleberry. Like,
oh man,
I'm sorry when I see, and I don't mean to. I'm not making fun of names. I'm just going back to the Key and Peele skit. So when I see names like Travius Hodges Tomlinson, I'm like, I just think of that. That's all. They've ruined it for me.
Okay, so Jartavius Martin out of Illinois.
Jactavius Triceratrix.
That one's the one that sounds like a transformer.
I'm watching that tonight after this. I'm putting that on. For those that haven't seen it, watch the East-West Bowl. Key and Peele, all the skits, all the drafts. Oh, man. All right. So who do you want? So cornerback, or what about a safety? No. Cornerback. Man, did we miss out? Did we blow it?
I think we might have missed out a little bit. There is one corner that like I at least see on here that I kind of
Let's
like.
go back. Let's
can you
go
open
back to
the-
our pick. Hold on. Yeah, I'm going back to where were we?
81.
Eli Ricks went to San Francisco, and Caillou Blue Kelly went. I'm looking for cornerbacks. Jalen Jones went 91. Alex Austin went 95. So I don't know if you would have taken any of those guys.
Eli Ricks is someone that like I've taken a few times in mock drafts, but like I'm not like heartbroken over it. Jartavius Martin, so another Illinois guy, played with Kirby Joseph, 5'11". Okay. I do feel like we kind of missed out on like some of the top talent at corner. So I almost wonder if they're better off going for like running back or wide receiver.
Tank Bigsby. I just love the name.
I really like Israel the kid out of Pittsburgh.
Anaconda. Israel
Dude,
Anaconda.
So I gotta give Eric Schlitt from Pride of Detroit a lot of credit on that one. He kind of like started highlighting him. I want to say about a month ago, and like as like hey, this is a guy that could be like really good. That's probably going to be on the rise. And dude had an amazing pro day. Was really productive at Pittsburgh. So, if there's a running back to take, that would be the running back that I would bet my money on, or like willing to roll the dice on.
All right, we can ask listeners too. We're throwing some names right here. If you got anybody too, feel free to participate. We are watching. We are watching. Throw out anybody. I know it's tough to see who's been taken, but we're trying to show the top couple available.
Let's look at wide receiver as well, really quick.
Okay, Jaden Reed, Jonathan Mingo, Bryce Ford Wheaton, Dontavion Wicks.
So I like the first three guys. I really like Jaden Reed. I think Jaden Reed could be a great replacement for Khalif Raymond. I think he does everything that Khalif already does for your team as a returner.
He was good at State.
But he's a much better, he's a much better wide receiver than I think Khalif is.
Yeah, he's I agree. Now, okay, so let's go. So let's land here. Running back, wide receiver. So Israel Anaconda or Jaden Reed. I love the Michigan connection. They did well with Hutchinson in getting the most out of him, because he was here, but he's from Michigan. Jaden Reed, I don't think is from Michigan.
But he spent a lot of his time here.
Right. So
played at Western and State, actually.
Because we're going to take, because we got picks back to back. We could get them both, Meko.
Yeah, that's a lot of offensive talent to be taken, but.
All right, so who would you take first? Running back? We do rely on the running back, though, right? Like, that is a big thing for us in our offense.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Ken, we did take Benton, so we don't really. I know a couple people have mentioned Ojamo, the defensive tackle out of Texas.
I lean towards the running back here, just for like injuries, Swift, Monty. You know what I mean? Just because.
Yeah, I know there's gonna be people that like. I think Tajee Spears is another guy that people like, but like at this point in the draft, I think drafting Tajee Spears would just be a little too high. I would rather take Israel.
All right, I'm with it. He's 5'11", 215.
Dude is lightning in a bottle. Like he's got that. Yeah.
So he's a little Swifty,
I think so. Yeah. I think
mini Swift. Let's take micro mini Swift.
Well, he's actually bigger than Swift.
Let's take Swift plus.
Sure. Let's go for it.
All right. Boom. Done. Trade offer for future picks. Washington's 3rd next year and their 5th for 101. We go to 193. No, because we traded up. We were rejecting these because we traded up for these. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now 101. Do you want to take? Okay. So Jane Reed's still there. Do you want to look at your cornerbacks?
Let's look at corner and then.
Same guys are still there. Only Carter Warren went, though, offensive tackle.
Is there like a profile on Darius Rush? Just like any type of like write-up on him.
Rush's background as a 2023 NFL draft prospect is an intriguing one. There are selling points like his ball production, 3 interceptions and 15 pass deflections since 2021. Used to be a wide receiver in high school.
Yeah, good size. He's a bigger corner. 23 years old with 3 injuries and varying. Yeah, I can't rock with the injuries. Yeah, let's go Jaden Reed. Forget it.
Love it.
So 3rd round, we went offense. After going, defense at 6 with Will Anderson, Darnell Wright at 18. We then went Hendon Hooker at 48, Keanu Benton at 55. And then in the 3rd round, we went back-to-back offensive picks with running back and wide receiver.
Because we traded back from 81 to 99 and 101.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not reading all this off, guys, because it's just going quickly. Here we come.
All right. So now we're at 152. I think this is our second to last pick.
Okay.
So I'm going to once again call. Oh, nope. I already see him. Jacorian Bennett.
Cornerback out of Maryland. That's all right. So you want to go cornerback here?
Yeah, Jacorian Bennett would be. He's got great athleticism. Played opposite Deonte Banks. Not the biggest, but again, good speed. Probably going to be more of a developmental corner that you're going to have, but again, you have some quality starters ahead of him, so it's a guy that you can kind of afford to take late and just see how he develops. And if he, again, being in a room with a bunch of veteran guys will probably give him the time he needs to, again, develop a really good game. So that would be my pick.
Taiwan Mullins. I love the name. All right, so your quarterback. So all right, Holmesy, you want a CB here? We'll take him. Whatever you want. You let me take my offense. I love it. All right, so you want to take Bennett?
We've made that offense even more.
Yeah,
top tier. Do you want to look at like linebacker or anything else?
Let's look. Dorian Williams, Jalen Graham, Shaka Hayward, Cam Jones. Bumper Pool. Sold.
Bumper Pool.
Bumper Pool, linebacker, Arkansas. Let's go. No. Jackson Player.
Yeah, and I don't see anybody on the defensive line that I'm like dying to get.
Trading safeties? Any safeties?
Not particularly. Like, this is a class where I think they could really like just not.
Okay.
They don't have to.
All right, so let's roll with Bennett. Right, we've kept the people. Right, I think we're good with Bennett. Right, let's get the CB, coach.
Yeah, let's go with it.
Okay. Like it. Eric Gray. Let me see if my Ronnie Bell went, wide receiver Michigan, to the Ravens after they just paid OBJ, which we didn't talk about.
Yeah, setting themselves up really well to get Lamar Jackson to come back.
At least for a year, so he can show everybody how good he is, and then he'll leave. Like, I mean, what are you doing? Like, I don't know. He'll play 1 year on the tag and then be like, I'm for real out. He'll spend the whole year trying to get out.
I don't think he'll play at all. Like, I don't think he plays without a contract in place. He's going to need guaranteed money.
All right, we're here. 194. 194.
So last pick in the draft.
The Detroit Lions are on the clock.
So does Brad Holmes finally take his infamous like late round linebacker again and just be like, oh, this is another guy we can take at linebacker?
Well, who's the steal of the draft he's going to get way back here? Like, this is the question, right? Who's the steal that he's going to get here at 194? Cam Jones, Anfree Orgy.
He might have already been taken.
Yes, but I said that correctly. Yes, Dan Pask, these are the best names. That is correct. Bumper Pool still available.
He's already probably been taken, but Aubrey Miller would be somebody that I would love to like roll the dice on as a late round linebacker.
Miller, you said?
Yeah. Linebacker out of Jackson State. So yeah, it looks like he was already taken. Yeah, that's somebody that I would have loved to take late. Taken late. Jeez. Tight end.
Payne Durham. Marshawn Ford.
Yeah, no, I don't like any of these guys.
Nope.
I feel like it does have to be on the defensive side, and I feel like it has to be a depth piece.
Linebacker. All right, so let's see what we got.
Defensive tackle, I feel like.
Jalen Redmond, Carl Brooks, Byron Young.
Ooh, Carl Brooks.
Yeah,
I think had him in for
Bowling Green.
I think they had him in for a top 30 visit. So clearly they like something about him.
Yeah, but do we like him, Coach?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. We brought him in for a top 30 visit.
Oh, so. Yeah. It depends on how the meeting went. All right, linebacker or defensive tackle?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not familiar enough with any of these linebackers to feel really good about taking another.
Okay,
take a linebacker.
But Carl Brooks. I mean, I've looked at his tape, so let's roll with him.
Yeah, Ken. Kuntz, the tight end, is gone, and I believe Ford Wheaton is definitely gone at this point as far as wide receivers go. Oh, the kid out of Princeton is an interesting prospect.
Iosivas?
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that.
Andre sure. Iosivas. No info on him.
Big guy, but he has a really good RAS. 9.96. Kid's an athlete.
Do we need another wide receiver? Or do we do linebacker here? It's our last.
I don't think you need another wide receiver.
Right. So I think I agree with you. It's here. It's linebacker, and I think it's bumper pool. Just kidding. No, but seriously, who are you? No, it was Carl Brooks. We were looking at defensive tackle.
Yeah, I said Carl Brooks. Could maybe be a good defensive tackle. Again, adding just some more beef in that room.
Pask, any thoughts? Anybody want to help here? Anybody have any insight in the late rounders?
Ken's been throwing out a couple good names on our YouTube chat, but most of these guys have already been drafted at this point in the.
Carl Brooks. Big D MG1. Yes, girth. Oh my gosh. Yo, Pask just goes, yes, girth.
Take
Carl
Moody.
Brooks.
Hold on. Is Jake Moody still available?
Hold on. It's not loading. Yes.
Oh my.
He is.
Would Brad Holmes really draft a kicker?
I don't. I mean, they just signed Money Badger.
Yeah, but it's like it was like a 1-year deal though, wasn't it?
They might. I mean, the Moody, that would be interesting. Like, see, this is something I would do in my fantasy football draft, but I don't know about my real team. Like,
and that's the only thing I have a hard time wrapping my mind around is like I don't think the
who
Lions
shouted that
actually-
out? Who shouted that? Good call on that. Who was that? We're so deep in it. I kept
Ken McWise on YouTube.
Shout out, Ken. What's up?
Shouted out Jake Moody.
We're gonna have to give him a Moody. If Moody is drafted by the Lions, he gets the first Moody tee.
Dude, I just hate Moody's mustache. I hate his mustache so much. Oh man!
All these kids got these mustaches now because they can't grow
so
beards.
Are we really
can't
choosing
grow
between?
birds?
Right. Are we really going to be choosing between a defensive tackle and a kicker right here? Well, you like Bumper Pool. I don't know if you really like Bumper Pool.
No, I don't. I just like the name. No.
I'm gonna leave this one up to my coach. Do you want a defensive tackle or do you want a kicker?
Big says you got to take Moody. Moody is the best choice here from Big. I like the Moody play because now we have, they think about it this way too. You got, and this is something I do think that Holmes and Campbell would do. You got Hutchinson from U of M, then you take Reed from Michigan State, and then you go Moody again. You go like, I don't know.
I would hope my GM would not be drafting off of like locale, like just
what
off
if
of local guys.
Well, what if Sheila says you got to take one Michigan player each draft? What if that's in there? I don't know.
I would say then that's when they need to stop asking for her input.
Well, I'm sure they're not asking. She would just say it. She's probably kidding. I don't think she'd be serious, but I'm just playing around here. Like I said, we're having fun. It's supposed to be fun. Yeah, at least you don't have to worry about field goals then. I mean,
he still has to beat. Because like it's a competition, and so like this is this would be the thing that would be really weird. This is why drafting like special teams players is risky, because if they don't beat out the guy that you drafted them to beat out, then you really did waste a pick. Like it's very rare that like a late round pick is a wasted pick, but like you're not going to carry Jake Moody on your practice squad probably. Like Carl Brooks, like even if Carl Brooks doesn't make your 53, he's still probably going to your practice squad, and you're probably still going to try to develop him.
Okay, Brooks or Moody, last pick of the draft. I vote Moody, but but we have to agree.
I feel like all right.
All right, let's go to the chat.
Ken is saying Moody. He thinks Moody will push bad.
Twitch is saying, everybody's saying Moody. Twitch, but
I don't know.
Jake Moody will beat the Money Badger, no problem.
Are they trolling, or is that like a legit, like honest, like?
No, this is, I think Biggs, he's being serious. These guys are, Dan and Big have been going back and forth.
The Lions can carry a kicker onto, so the Lions could carry a kicker onto the practice squad, but if they ended up needing space on the practice squad, the kicker is going to be the first one that gets kicked off the practice squad.
Right. All right, so are we going to be responsible here and take Carl Brooks? Or are we going to be questionable and take Moody? See how
I would hate the Jake Moody pick so much. Like I would hate the Jake Moody pick.
Why would you hate it? Why would you hate it? While we're here,
it feels like a wasted pick. I'm sorry, it does.
If he so if he beats out Money Badger, right? We still got to pay Money Badger, don't we?
Do you think Jake Moody gets drafted? Period, though. Like if we don't take Jake Moody, do you think Jake Moody gets drafted? Period.
I don't know. I don't know. I can't. He might not.
Like if they wanted to go out and go sign him as like an unrestricted free agent, like
Moody can hit deep though. Money Badger's weak after over 40 yards.
Is he like how good is he over 50?
Anybody? Bueller? I don't have the numbers. I'm just
like, because he's got to be money from 50 for me to be taking him. He's going to be money from 50 plus.
I don't know if Moody's money from 50. I don't know. I don't know that. I can't answer that. I can't answer that right now. It's just another great name. Dan Pass says 59 is his best, I think.
All right, fine.
The GM's talked into it.
I hate this pick.
He hates this pick.
With everything in my, like, just
Jake
in my being,
Moody.
I hate this pick.
Really? All right, hold on. I'll talk it out with you before we could do Carl.
I'm open. We're gonna sit here forever. Like,
all right, then we're going Moody. We're going Moody. Final.
We're going Moody.
We're gonna go Moody for the crew for everything. We're going Moody. Final. We did it. We got a Michigan team. Michigan built.
I would be like really. I honestly to God though, I would be disappointed in Brad Holmes if he drafted a kicker in the 6th round. Like if he wanted to like jump back into the 7th somewhere and draft a kicker, I'd be like fine. But if it's like
Carl Brooks still on the board right now into round 7. Just a side note.
Yeah, Jake Moody would have been too.
Well, but that was our last pick. And maybe he does with all these guys hanging around. Maybe Holmes does, but this is just this draft. But maybe he does move back to get some of these guys. Like Carl Brooks still, like if they have guys on their list, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my biggest thing with Carl Brooks was like the Lions did bring him in for a visit. They did obviously meet with him. They obviously wanted to get some more information on him somewhere. And
Dan Pass says 3 of 7 over 50 yards with a long of 59.
3 of 7
over 50.
That is not a great percentage.
Over 50? How many 50 yarders are you taking? Over 50.
In the NFL, way more. Like you got like that's. I think we forget like that is one of the knocks on Michael Badgley is that like he's not money always from 50 plus. Like, and that's where Dan Campbell's going to go for it if it's a 4th and manageable regardless. But like to be able to have some of those where you don't have to, where it's like a 53, 54 yarder and you can just trust your kicker to go out there and like put up 3 points is a nice weapon to have in the NFL. And so
what are Badgley's numbers? Hold on. I want to see Money Badger's numbers then.
I'm not saying they're great. I'm just saying 3 for 7 isn't draftable for me. Like I'm not drafting a guy who simply went 3 for 7 from 50 plus.
Okay. Well, yeah, we don't need to get into all of this. We've been here for an hour and a half. We'll like we don't need to. But yes, Meko doesn't like the ending. I thought it was definitely questionable. So I want to thank everybody for sticking around. That was great.
All right, so like, what was our picks again? Let's recap our draft for the audience so that everybody can kind of get an idea. So number 6, we went Will Anderson at 6 after, again, the football gods blessed us.
I gotta find it here.
I remember like the first few picks. Then we went Darnell Wright at 18. So again, Lions get an offensive lineman that again can play, potentially even challenge for right guard. But you also have a guy that could just kind of fit anywhere along your offensive line going forward. At 48, we went Hendon Hooker. Again, he fell. He was still available in the 2nd round. The Lions only have Nate Sudfeld currently. Obviously, yes, they are in talks with Teddy Bridgewater, but in the event that they can't get Teddy Bridgewater, Hendon Hooker is a great compliment to him. And then at 55, we took Keanu Benton. So again, adding some beef to that defensive line, somebody that they could put in rotation alongside Isaiah Buggs and Aleem McNeil. I was gonna say you
I'm
really
trying to
want to open
find
up
it.
your photos while like on a stream.
No, I moved it to the side.
Ooh, that would have been risky.
I moved it to the side. I didn't know.
Because
I got nothing.
To save you.
I got nothing in there.
Up, I'd have been like,
I got nothing. I got nothing in there, but I wanted to double check. No, I popped it to the side,
bro. Because if that would have popped open, you would have saw me just leave the stream.
There's nothing. Hey, nothing. Hey, it's all good. It's all my daughter, but anyway. So
yeah. Keanu Bitten at 55. Then we traded our pick 81 with the 49ers to get pick 99 and 101. We traded pick 81 and I believe it was like pick 170 something, one of our 6th round picks, to get 2 third-round picks, which we used to take Israel Adekanyida. I know I butchered that.
Abanikanda.
The running back out of Thank
Israel Abanikanda. No problem.
The running back out of Pittsburgh and Jaden Reed, the wide receiver out of Michigan State. We then came back in the 5th round, pick 152, took Jacorian Bennett, cornerback out of Maryland, and at pick 194, we threw a pick in the ocean and drafted Jake Moody.
Yeah, he doesn't like the Moody. He's moody about Moody. That's fair. It's all right. It's all right, man. It's all good.
I mean,
it's probably not going to happen. But look at the beginning. We got Will Anderson. Come on. Like, is this really?
I was going to say.
Yeah,
come on. Will Anderson, Darnell Wright, and Hendon Hooker. Like, those first 4 picks, I'm really happy about. Honestly, the first 6, I'm really happy about. We maybe could have prioritized corner a little bit higher. But I just
we did it in the offseason though. Like I get like
and I think that's my thing too, right? Like we prioritize it in the offseason, and if you need to, it still gives you like that flexibility to re-sign any of these guys if they have a good years. If Emmanuel Mosley balls out, you may want to re-sign him anyway. If Jeff Okudah balls out, you are gonna want to re-sign him anyway. So you kind of leave the door open.
But this gives us a good range though. For young contracts, right? These rookie contracts, it gives us a solid range to keep the cap down where we need to a little bit. Yeah. Right? Like, God forbid, I mean, I doubt that happens. You never know, though, like we talked about. I mean, you don't know. That's why the top 6 pick, like, you don't know who's going to fall to us. I mean, one of the QBs might. I mean, Richardson might be there. One of who you never know what these guys are going to do last minute.
I was going to say, we got really lucky at the top of this draft where like we didn't have to make like any tough decisions as far as like with quarterback or with like Bijan.
Yeah, Pask was like the corner was the only mulligan I wanted at Benton's pick. That's what Pask was saying. But they're all liking the draft on Twitch. Thanks guys for hanging out. Appreciate you.
Yeah,
but we talked about it though. We talked about it. It was on the board.
Yeah, and that was a tough pick because it was one of those things where it's like, do you want to just trust the depth that you already have at corner?
Ooh.
And you don't have that depth at defensive tackle? And I think prioritizing the depth that you don't have at defensive tackle was a little more important. Because we could have gotten other defensive tackle later, but I don't know if any of them are as good as Keanu Benton.
They ask, what would we have done if Richardson had fallen?
Fallen to where? 6?
6. Because Will Anderson's gone then, right?
Yeah, so Will Anderson's gone.
Jalen.
So is Will Anderson, Jalen Carter, and Tyree Wilson are all gone?
Okay, that's a question.
I'm probably taking Anthony Richardson. Because the next best defensive player, so I'm probably on an island on this one. Like, I know people love Devon Witherspoon, and the Lions may love him too. I don't think I'm taking Devon Witherspoon over Anthony Richardson at 6.
I would not either. I mean, because here's the thing, like, he didn't have great receiving core, right? He did a lot on his own, right? He's got some mechanics he's got to fix, but like all these quarterbacks do. So does Josh Allen. Like they just a lot of these guys have given them big wide receivers to fix the problem, right? Like the guys we're talking about.
Like Brett Whitfield made a really good point on the Pride of Detroit podcast where he talked about
that's where it's coming from.
Yeah, where he talks about like how teams have gone about fixing some of these quarterback accuracy issues is by giving them like wide receivers that can get open. And so you look at Josh Allen, you look at Jalen Hurts is the most recent example. They gave him AJ Brown and like dude was an MVP caliber quarterback.
Well, and Tua, right? They mentioned Tua, right? You give Tua.
Well, yeah, you
Waddle and Tyreek.
Yeah, they gave Waddle and Tyreek Hill. I mean, it's one of the reasons why, like I say, like Justin Fields is probably going to be a little scarier this year because they gave him DJ Moore. They gave him a wide receiver that can get open. And so a guy like Anthony Richardson could really thrive in a system here where you have guys that can get open, not just deep. Like it's not just JMO and deep shots. Like
no, Amon-Ra.
He's got Saint that can get open in the middle of the field. He's got Swift and Montgomery that can both get open in the middle of the field or on short routes.
Dude, we got a bunch of ballers on a team for the first time that like they'll just get open. Like that they can just make moves and they'll be open. We have talent for the first time. I don't even know what to do with myself. And then if we have like any sort of a good draft, I mean, come on. Now the cornerback room, I'm getting excited. So, yeah, I'm getting excited.
I don't think they take Richardson, but if
he's there at 6, if he's there at 6, I think you do take him.
I would take him. I don't think Brad Holmes will take him, but I would take him.
I would take him
before
too.
I would take him before I would take Devon Witherspoon, before I would take Christian Gonzalez, and before I would take Miles Murphy. Because those would be the guys that would really be in play in the event that Jalen Carter, Will Anderson, and Tyree Wilson are all gone.
Yeah.
So
anyway, that was fun. That was good. I don't know if yeah. We'll get the resolution shirt up next year, but again, we're just getting used to Streamlabs. So thanks everybody for hanging out. I think we've had some people drop off. It's been a long time, an hour and a half, long time. It's getting late. But
yeah.
Anything else we need to touch on? Odell to the Ravens.
No, yeah, man. I mean, like I said, we'll find out. I don't know. We'll get a lot of feedback from you guys. Leave comments. Again, be sure to like this stream. Let us know what you guys think of our mock draft. And I don't know if you guys want us to do another one, let us know. I don't know if you guys beg us enough. Maybe I can talk Scotty into doing another one of these 1 week before the draft. We only got like 2 weeks left.
Right.
So we don't have that much time to do too many more of these. I don't think we want to do one every single week because
no. I would do one more right before as we get closer. Maybe if people had enough fun, but
yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it, bro.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, everybody, appreciate you for tuning in, hanging out with us. Please like, follow, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. We had a couple tonight. Thank you. We appreciate you. Yeah, we're getting close to the draft, getting excited. I want to thank you, Meko, for being on. Glad you're feeling better. Gion's working hard or hardly working, not sure. And, I want to thank the crew, everybody for hanging out. I want to thank the family. I want to thank everybody that supports us as we do this and go through this. Again, want to shout out Matt Derry, Locked On Lines. Appreciate you, Matt. Derry Speaks. We appreciate you and your support. We look forward to working together. Also, Pride of Detroit. We gotta talk to Eric too, right?
Yeah, if we can get him.
Yeah.
If we can get him before the draft, that'd be dope. If not, we may have to try to get him afterwards. I know it's
busy season again a little bit for him.
It's busy season, and then timing. We do our podcast pretty late at night, so
yeah. But anyways, thank you all for tuning in, Meko.
Yeah, man. No, shout out to the audience. Shout out to everybody that participated. Again, leaving comments, liking the stream, just overall engagement. Shout out to Easy once again for filling in for me last week while I was out sick. And yeah, man. Shout out to my family for putting up with me and allowing me to do this.
All right. I want to thank your family too. Thanks, Khalila. All right, you guys. All right, thank you again for hanging out. This is the Questionable Podcast. Out.